talk, we talking stability. ILCA,
ILCA,
ILCA. Hold up, hey, keep it tight, dollar back, move it right, stable flow, no surprise. Now we seeing through the lies, hold up, hey, understand. Now we playing with a plan. Price too high, you park it there. Stable coin, you lock it there. Tied to fiat, 1-to-1. Now you moving when it's done. US dollar on the chain. Now you moving with no strain, no delay, no middleman. Now you finally got a plan, but wait, you gotta know what you're holding. But wait, you gotta know what you're holding. Fiat back, that's reserves, cash and bonds, how it serves. Crypto back, over collateral, different risk, still operational. Algo base, that's code, that's what things can overload. Lose the pay, that's the flaw, that's why knowledge is the law. Hold the pay, keep it tight, understand it, move it right. From the code to the bank, now you know what to rank. Hold the pay, now you see, this ain't basic currency. The FIFA plays, now you learn, earn yield, stack it again. Cross border, move it fast, no delays, no old path. Payments clean, low fee, now you moving globally. Institutions watching close, cause they know how this goes. ILCA, ILCA, to educate, no mistake. Move away, ILCA, ILCA, to educate, no mistakes. Move away. CBDC's on the rise, government digital ties, but stable coin still ahead. Private sector gotta spread, bridging both worlds in time. Traditional and blockchain aligned. This the shift, understand. Now you moving with a plan. Hold the pay, know the game. Stability, that's the aim. ILCA, teach the way. Level up every day. ILCA, just knowledge, just strategy. No guessing, just knowledge, just strategy. LCA. Yeah. Before the mission, there was confusion. Before the clarity, there was the storm.
Brandon Ivey.
Back. Brandon Ivey. Yeah. Brandon Ivey. Back when I was searching, trying to find my lane. Different paths and questions running through my brain. So Bitcoin early, didn't know what it could be, but something in my spirit said it's bigger than me. Came back around, yeah, I had to learn it right. Made mistakes, took losses, had to fight that fight. But every lesson carved a deeper understanding. Now I'm teaching others, helping them start expanding. Hold on,
Stay strong.
purpose coming
All along.
Hold on.
Stay strong.
Stay strong.
All along.
Hold on.
Stay strong.
Stay strong.
All along.
Hey.
Stay strong.
Stay strong. Yeah. Now I'm locked in, vision too clear. Build ILCA, now the message worldwide here. Boot camp city to city, teaching truth to the people. Breaking down the game so it's simple and equal. Wireless keys, how to move, how to store, how to build, how to grow, how to open that door. No gatekeeping, just access and game. Now they stepping into space with a whole new aim.
ILCA,
Educate,
level up.
don't wait.
ILCA,
Educate,
level up.
don't wait.
Through the storm I was built, now I'm walking in my wheel. ILCA,
That's the call.
now we reaching one and all from the ground to the sky. Now the vision multiplied.
Through the storm.
Now it's real. Now it's real.
Yeah. Now we stepping in the assets, real estate on chain. Tokenization, shifting how we play the game. Fraction of ownership, doors wide open now. Teaching people how to build and showing them how. state, yeah, the future in motion. Turning education into real ownership. From survival to legacy, that's the shift. Now we helping people build generational gifts. This ain't luck.
This is alignment.
This is alignment.
This is alignment.
This is purpose.
This is assignment.
This is assignment.
From the storm you rise. From the storm you rise. Through the storm, through the storm, through the storm.
Now I see.
Through the storm, through the storm. Through the storm, now I see this was all designed from the ILCA.
That's the way.
Now we building every day from the roots to the sky. Now the vision multiplies.
Brandon Ivey. Brandon Ivey. Brandon. From the storm.
How to buy Bitcoin on Cash App
To the
and
card.
send to another wallet.
Legacy.
Grab your phone and
Brandon Ivey.
Brandon Ivey. Yeah. Global move. Strategic mind. Judy Emden. Certified. Power move, power flow. She already know. Built the plan, built the team. Turn the work to a dream. Step by step, no rush, no doubt. She know what it's about. Global mind, leader soul, always in control. Yeah, in the game I don't talk, I build. Seen every deal, seen every field. Boardroom calm, but the mind stays sharp. Play my position, I play my part. Sales the system, training the crew. Show them exactly what they can do. No luck story, no overnight. 20 years learning how to fight. Global calls, different zones. Build success on my own. Read the room, read the play. I can see it miles away. Leader, build a mover, winner, stand up. Get up, we don't give up. Power move, power flow, she already know. Build the plan, build the team, turn the work to a dream. Step by step, no rush, no doubt. She know what's about. Global mind, leader soul, always in control. High performance, high demand. Still got vision, still got plan. Motivate, elevate, train the line. But the ones better right every time. Seen the hype, seen the fall, still the one they always call. When it's time to make it grow, I already know the flow. Strategy first, never loud. Let the results talk to the crowd. Every lesson, every scar, made a leader that you are. Stand tall, stay strong, been ready all along. No fear, no doubt, that's what we about. That we don't get up. Power move, power flow, she already know. From the ground to global stage, still got fire, still got rage. Step by step, plan inside, always moving right. Global mind, fearless role, always in control. Now new to this, true to this. Years in the work, cool for this. Build teams, build dreams, build things they ain't seen. Come on, sharp side, move smart, move right. Power move, power flow, everybody know. Judy Emden, lead the way. Every single day from the plan to the throne. Bet it on all. Global mind, leader soul, always in control. Strategy, vision, vision. Strategy, vision, leadership. Strategy, vision, leadership. Strategy, vision, leadership. Certified. Together we ride, ILCA, future in our eyes. Yesterday doors open wide, tomorrow side by side. No fear, no wait, while it's trying to ownership faith. From the grind to the global stage, we build new wealth in a brand new way. From the classroom nights to the summit lights, dreams we carried now in sight. Brandon Ivey set the pace. Manita Casa, strength and grace. Anthony moving, mission strong. Shamte Kelly all along. Darrell boats are holding ground. Community power, global sound. From Africa to the Caribbean seas. One rhythm, one unity. Education turn to keys. Future wealth moving with ease. Call it power, vision. Our voice. Together we rise. ILCA. Future in our eyes. Yes, they go as open wide. Tomorrow side by side. No fear, no weight. None of grind to ownership place. From the grind to the global stage, we build new wealth in a brand new way. Hands up high to the drum, legacy work just begun. From beliefs to what we see, we create reality. Tokenized land ownership flow, future income steady grow. Community built on trust and skill. We climb the hill and still we build from the ground up. We build strong from the vision. We belong. We rise, we rise, we rise, we rise, we rise, we
No panic moves.
We strategic now.
Stable move when the market slide. We don't panic, we reposition right. Dollar back, yeah, we lock that in. Now we moving with a different spin. From the ground to the globe. Now the whole world knows.
Stable move.
That's the code, 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 code.
Stable move.
That's the code. Volatility wild, yeah, the chart's too fast. People losing focus, don't know how to last. That's why stable coins enter the play. Give you some more safe when it shift that way. When the one tied to USD, now you moving with stability. Digital dot. No panic moves. No panic.
We're painting futures on the canvas now. Keys in the chain and the street know-how. Brandon Ivey gave the blueprint out. ILCA, we the way.
Yeah, we got stories in the chain, pain in the pay.
Then we taught the block how to break out the cage.
She built from broke to woke, we ain't chasing fame.
Till we chasing wallets with our name in the frame.
ILCA, where the grind turned gold.
Crypto in the soul, now the world on hold.
Built it from nothing but a prayer and plan.
This the canvas and chain.
Where the truth began, yeah. Came from a system that said don't ask why. Now I'm drawing on a ledger, watch the value rise. Brandon Ivey, yeah, the name lightweight. Taught the hood how to walk through that crypto gate. Used to juggle bills like I'm flipping dice. Now I'm teaching about wallets and security rights. 15 lessons deep in the class with kings. ILCA got them changing what freedom means. Nah, no cap, just coded math and grace. Help the block find light in the darkest place. It's more than coin, it's my elevation. Legacy talk, not just market fluctuations. I ain't looking for likes, I'm looking for keys. So my fam don't starve in the system disease. Brandon built what the schools left behind. Now we bank in the pocket with the sharpest minds. Yeah, we got stories in the chain, pain in the page.
We taught the block how to break out the cage.
So from broke to woke, we ain't chasing fame.
Now we chasing wallets with our name in the frame.
ILCA, where the grind turned gold.
Crypto in the soul, now the world on hold.
Built it from nothing but a prayer and plan.
It's the canvas and chain where the truth began. Used to doubt what I knew, now I lead in rooms, flipping fear into fuel. Got receipts and zooms from the block where the lights flicker out by noon. To trading coins with my son while we watch cartoons. Ivy said, don't wait, the power is yours. So I opened up a wallet, then I opened new doors. Now I walk like I'm wealthy even when it's tight, cause I'm stacking slow motion with that crypto light. Smart chain runner, got vision like hawks. ILCA, turn the silence into loud talks. No suit, no loans, just sweat and smarts. Now I'm living off plays that were taught from the heart. It ain't a flex, it's a formula clean for the girl with the dreams and a cracked phone screen. Now I teach my sisters how to build their lane, and Brandon Ivey gave the code to change the game.
Vic, we got stories in the chain, pain in the pain.
Ivy taught the block how to break out the cage.
She up from broke to woke, we ain't chasing fame.
Man, we chasing wallets with our name in the frame.
ILCA, where the grind turned gold.
Crypto in the soul, now the world on hold.
Built it from nothing but a prayer and plan.
It's the canvas and chain
where the truth began.
Billy got stories in the chain, pain in the pain.
He taught the block how to break out the cage.
She got from broke to woke, we ain't chasing fame.
Man, we chasing wallets with our name in the frame.
ILCA, where the grind turned gold.
Crypto in the soul, now the world on hold.
Built it from nothing but a prayer and plain.
It's the canvas and chain
where the truth began. Legacy in motion, knowledge in the air. Brandon Ivey, ILCA, everywhere. From the canvas to the chain, we there.
Yeah. Every movement got a moment, and every moment got a calling.
Las Vegas,
Bitcoin Expo 2026. Yeah. 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 Came from the ground where the vision wasn't clear. Had to build it piece by piece just to make it here. Now we walking through the lights in a different zone, where the future being shaped and the seeds get sown. People searching, people learning, people trying to grow, trying to understand the space, trying to really know. And we came with a purpose, not just to be seen, but to bring real knowledge to the ones in between. Hold on, stay strong.
you've been preparing all along.
Yeah. Stay strong.
Preparing all along.
You're preparing all along. Stay strong.
Preparing all along.
Flow back energy out. Knowledge getting spread. Crypto conversations echoing what we said. ILCA, we came with the blueprint, teaching real moves, not just what the news print. Wallet security, how to really build, how to move smart, how to stay skilled. Stay stepping in, opening doors, real estate on chain, yeah, we giving them more. ILCA, educate, estate, build wealth. We was called to Vegas,
Now we changing lives.
Bitcoin Expo, we here.
Now the truth amplified.
From the ground to the stage,
We was leading the way.
we was called to Vegas.
Now it's real. Now it's real. Now it's real.
Brandon with the vision, setting tone for the room. Money to connect and making power moves bloom. Lena breaking plays, showing structure and flow. Daring, bringing fire, letting everybody know. We come to watch, we came to build and uplift. Turn awareness into action, now we shifting the shift. From the flow to the future, yeah, we planting the seed, giving coincidence, this alignment, this purpose, this assignment. Rise
From the light you rose,
We was called to Vegas.
now we change your life.
We was called to Vegas.
Now the truth amplifies.
We was called to Vegas.
We was leading the way.
We was called to Vegas.
Now it's real. We was called to Vegas.
Now the world can see. LCA, that's the way, building legacy.
We was called to Vegas.
Now the world can see. LCA, that's the way, building legacy. From the floor to the sky,
Now the vision multiplies.
now the vision multiplied.
We was called to Vegas.
From the calling
We was called to Vegas.
to the impact, to the legacy.
We showed up.
All right, all right. We are back. Who's ready to learn? We are day 2 of the 5-day challenge. This is Brandon Ivey from Los Angeles, California. I know you're used to seeing Miss Marnita Casa as the hostess, but today is her wedding anniversary, so her and her husband are out celebrating tonight. So we will have Miss Casa back tomorrow. So you got me as our host, and I'm going to be doing our training for tonight. So go ahead and type your name in the chat box where you're listening in from. As a disclaimer, I am not a licensed financial advisor to be giving financial advice. I share information for educational, training, and entertainment purposes only, and it is up to you to make your own informed, intelligent decision on which direction you want to move into. I want to go ahead and welcome all of our guest members on YouTube that's plugging into us right now. I see you guys from JT from Cali. I see you. I see Oh, Lady Diana's here. Got your front row seat. Brenda Bell from Washington. I see you. I see Claudia Bell as well. EQ Thunderbird from Atlanta. Also, we have on here Miss B. Betsy White is on the line. Joyce Easley, Jew Cole White, Catherine Clement, Kenny Taylor, Melanie Davis, Nathan from Las Vegas. Also, wait, scroll down. There we go. I can see more. Patty Geis, Roosevelt Thurman Sr., Mrs. Charlerita Deloach, Tammy Lee Gully, and Miss Victoria Peterson, and new people are coming in as I talk, but we're going to jump right on into this because we have something special tonight. Not only are we going to be covering what is a blockchain, but we also have 2 guests that I'm going to be bringing up in a moment to chat with you guys. Well, last night, how many of you guys were here last night and you enjoyed that lesson, the river of money? That's one of my favorites. That's one of my philosophies that I have been following my entire career. And now that you know what the river of money is, we're going to be talking tonight about the technology that's making it possible. But before we do that, I want to bring up 2 young women that I have some respect for, a lot of respect for, actually. One is the mom, Miss B, Betsy White. You guys in the ESA community may be familiar with her because she does a training every Friday. Now, normally, I would love to be on those, but Fridays are my days off. So I miss most of the time. I tried to hop on when I can, but she does a training for the ESA community on Fridays. And I had a chance to meet her and her daughter, Jucole, in Washington, D.C. at our 1-year platform launch journey. And really the highlight is Jucole, but I wanted to bring her mom up as well because she's very influential in this entire process, and so that you guys as parents can hear, what did she do to get Jucole to pay attention, to want to come here and learn on her own? Because like I said last night, I was paying attention. You've got children that they're there because their parents forced them to. Then you have others that are actively participating, paying attention, learning, and she was all ears, learning, watching, observing, asking questions, taking notes. That impressed me. So we wanted to, when I did this 5-day challenge this month, and we're gearing it towards the younger generation, I definitely wanted to speak with her and let her have a chance to speak with all of you. and share some insights with that. So without further ado, I want to bring up Miss Betsy White and Jucole White to front and center. So ladies, good evening. How are you ladies doing this evening?
Good. How are
Hello.
you?
Great, great. Well, let me get it started off by saying first, thank you for taking time out of your schedule for being here with us tonight and sharing your time and your expertise. And I want to start with Miss Betsy White. What led you into the digital space? When did you first hear about this stuff?
Well, to be honest, my son, which I only have one, my son started talking about cryptocurrency several years ago, and they started talking about this mining. Him and his wife started talking about mining, and I had no clue what he was talking about because I was trying to figure out how do you mine this invisible money. I know about mining gold, but and so it was just like way over my head. So I was like, okay, y'all mine it and then y'all just take care of mama. That's all I can say. I have no idea what you're talking about. So that's the first time I really actually heard about it. So that had to be about 5, 6 years ago. And then as time went on, because my kids, they get to the point where they go, okay, mama just ain't, she just not gonna get it. So we just gonna pass it because she just not gonna get it. So as time went on, I just kept looking into it, and then Cash App came out with something called Bitcoin, and I thought Bitcoin was cryptocurrency. So, I didn't realize that was an individual coin. So I'm like, okay. And so I just started putting money in it. And then all of a sudden, one day, I got this message from Shantae on Facebook, and then she started talking about it, and then she was talking about tokenized real estate, and I went to the presentation, and I'm like, okay, so now we got invisible real estate. What is really happening in the world? So I was really confused on that, but she took time and she explained it to me, and Shantae is extremely patient with me, thank God. So she explained it to me, and so I was like, okay, what the heck? $10. I'll go ahead. So I went over to Cash App to grab my cryptocurrency, and it's like 400 and some dollars there. And I'm like, so invisible stuff does actually appear. And that's really what my thought was. I'm like, this invisible coin actually does appear. So she helped me to move over some money, and I moved it over, and it started. And so I got to talking to Lucy about it. Well, we call her Lucy, but Jacole about it. And she was like, "Oh my, that sounds good." She said, "Well, let me see what you're doing." And I was like, sure." So she came onto a presentation, and she understood it.
Hmm.
She understood it, and she was like, "Mama, we're gonna do this." And at that time she was 18. And so I'm like, she's not even out of school yet, but for some reason she making sense. So I had learned to start listening to Jacole. And because she does talk, sometimes she talks above me, and I have to just slow down. And so she started explaining some of it to me, and I was like, she has a better handle than I do. And then my son, he was listening. She was like, "Mom, she does understand." And so we both got into it. And so it's not so much that I was bringing her along; she actually was bringing me along.
Bringing you along.
Right. So I started it, yeah, because I met Shantae first, but Jacole is the one that had the understanding, and she brought me along into this digital space. And so as I was growing and moving and listening and trying to educate myself on this, she was really picking it up. And even though she's not an advocate of going to college, no, she's more than an advocate. She's like totally against going to college. She's one that truly believes in education. And
Hmm.
she has as many books as a library does. And she's read them all. She reads a lot of books by Trump, and she reads a lot of books by the Kiyosaki man. What's his name?
Robert
Robert
Kiyosaki.
Kiyosaki.
Yeah, there you go. Him, and she's read a lot of his books, and her and her dad, they really sit down and they educate themselves. So she's a big advocate for education. And so she brought me into the understanding of the digital space. And so sometimes you just have to sit back and listen to your kids. She's still 19, She's still 19, but she's an old soul 19. And so this is what brought me into the digital space. Shantae started it, but my baby girl, she's the one that's helping her bring her mother along into this. And now I understand that Bitcoin is not actually the only thing in cryptocurrency. So, and that's one thing we both are. We're into, educating ourselves, especially
Mhm.
if it's something I want to get into and I know nothing about it because I don't know anything about it. But this is being here is like the best place to be if you're wanting to continue to go forward and continue to have a future and grow your future because it's not going anywhere. So
Mhm.
educate yourself so that you can be there. And so thanks to my little boss lady, she's helped her mama a lot.
Well, that's a great story because a lot of times just the reverse, the parents trying to drag their children into it. I've got a 19-year-old son and he hears me and but it's I'm dad. And because it's I'm dad, and that's not the cool thing, that's dad's thing. But for Nicole to jump on and see what you're doing and then see the bigger vision of what's
Mhm.
taking place. My son, he's starting to get it because I took him with me to the Vegas event and he was
Okay.
sitting there with his cousin Keon, and Keon's only 13. You'll hear from him probably tomorrow. And he
Mhm.
was looking at everything, and then Michael Aluko had his two young kids up on stage, and they were sharing what this tokenization means. And so I was like, yeah, the young generation is gonna get this. And so I want to talk to Jacole for a second here and say, being young, Jacole, what was your very first experience or hearing about Bitcoin? Was it from your brother as well, hearing about it? What
No,
tell us your
actually.
experience.
It started when I was 12. Um,
Wow.
so when I was 12, I remember, I'm sorry, Mom, but every time when she told me to go to bed, I don't go to bed, okay? I like to do my research. I stay up past like 3 in the morning, watching all different types of like real estate videos. I forgot this one guy's name, but I was like always watching him. And he was like into real estate investing, and I was taking a
Wait,
bunch of
wait,
notes
wait, wait.
about.
Hold on one second. One second. I hate to cut you off. You say you were like 12, 13 years old, up at 3 o'clock in the morning, watching real estate videos, not playing Minecraft or and Roblox or anything? Okay,
No,
keep
not really.
keep keep going.
So I was watching him for a while, and then it was like Bitcoin came up, from one of his videos, and he was just talking about Bitcoin as like a trading thing. He was just like saying we could trade it. At the time, I really didn't understand what Bitcoin was, but then Robert Kiyosaki, he actually talked about Bitcoin too in one of his conference videos.
Mm,
Um, he was he was talking about gold mostly, but it
mm,
was like in the crypto field. So that's when I was exposed to it a little bit, but at the same time I didn't understand it, neither did my father or mother. And so I didn't really look much into it because it was still brand new and I was like really young and I really wanted to do real estate, so I was like, I'll look at that later. But but then during COVID, I think it was like it was going to 2021. I see a lot of Bitcoin ads, like people like gurus keep saying, "Oh, if you join my course, I could teach you this and that." At first I want to do it, but then they said they want $5,000. So I was like, yeah, no, no.
mm.
And so I just like took on my own hands and decided to watch a bunch of crypto videos like Bitcoin. There was about meme coin. Meme coin was a huge thing, and NFTs. And I didn't understand it still because one, it was new, and two, they were like jumping here and there to here, and I was like, okay. But then when my mom told me about, okay, I'm gonna look into this tokenized thing I'm into. But first, I was about to block this lady because she said that it's tokenized real estate. I was like, no, mom, no, mom, just look into it. And so I I went to this webinar with her, and it really did make sense to me because crypto is going into the future. At the time, I still understand a little bit, but not as much now. but I could see there was like huge vision, and there's actually a map for it. A lot of people don't have like an actual roadmap, like at this time this is going to happen, that time that's going to happen, and in the future this is for sure going to happen. And no one really had that. And so I was like really confident that this is going to work. And I'm so glad my mom finally now listened to me and we actually went through with it. Because she said, I don't know. I want you to finish school. Because I did go to college. I went to college when I was 15, 16 years old. Because I was in
Wow.
the college program. I went to
Mhm.
Ohio Dominican. Um, didn't like it. One, I just didn't like the structure of college. I learned about what college really was for, and it was definitely not for me. And I know I am very creative, and I don't like when people tell me, no, I don't want you to do this. I want you to do this at this certain time. I want you to get up here at this certain time, and you're gonna make this certain time. Like, no, no, that's not gonna happen. And I was in college for cybersecurity, but they want me to take all these other courses that doesn't deal with cybersecurity. I was like, why am I taking all this where I could just go here and just learn the same thing or more and be more hands-on and have better experience?
Mm.
And how this job market is now, I see that it's a better decision because what do you mean I need to spend $12,000 for one course and hope and pray that I could get a job? Like, no. And when my mom found out I kind of dropped out of college, she was
Uh-oh.
not happy.
Uh-oh.
She was not happy. And I was like, please listen to me. She said, no, no, this was free. I took you to this school. It was free, and you just dropped it all. I was like, oh. So it was long, hard conversations for years. Yeah, it was long, hard, and I'm so happy now we have a better relationship because of estate, and we learn together about crypto. And from you, we watch your videos and we get better understanding. She gets better understanding. I never thought in a million years she even touch a video about crypto. So I just want to say thank you. So yes, that's my experience.
Wow, wow, that conversation with your mom, I fully understand because I had that same conversation with my father. Although I didn't drop out of school, I decided I wanted to be an entrepreneur my senior year in college. I said I was not going to follow the path after graduation that he wanted me to. He wanted me to go to law school, become a politician, or this and all this kind of stuff. I said, that's not for me. I want to do things a different way. I did not want to be clocking in on a 9 to 5 job, barely making enough money. I see how y'all are, and it was no disrespect, but I'm saying I don't want that lifestyle. I appreciate that you worked hard to provide for me, but the situation today is different in society. And I want to give Miss B a lot of credit for supporting, your daughter in this early stage before she has the results to show for the decision, major results. It took my father, me walking off my job and retiring at 36. And then even then, maybe 2 or 3 more years. No, not till I really got into crypto and he saw the income and my lifestyle that he actually said, you know what? There may be something to this. And then even then, he was on a golf course and his friends were golfing and they're talking about Bitcoin and crypto and investing in it. And he's like, you guys are into that stuff? My son's up, oh, your son's already into that? Oh, wow, he must be doing really well. And it was after that, then he looked at me in a different light. So I got to give you much respect, Miss B, for supporting Jukol on her journey. So Jukol, let me ask you another question. At a young age, are other kids your age and young adults, are they also interested in this space, or do you find it difficulty talking with them about this kind of stuff too?
Like, are they actively involved into this?
Do they even care about it? Do they talk about it?
Um, yes and no. People I've been around, not really, but people who have, they are either like really successful into it, like in it, or they only follow the hype around it, like meme coins and NFTs, and lose all their money, and they think all the digital space is just a scam. So, that's it. But that's what I see. But I always keep trying to tell people before you invest into anything, I mean, like anything, always do your research, always be educated yourself. Don't take other people's word for it because you're literally just following the hype. And I don't like hype because sorry, hype comes and goes as quickly and fast. And when you're educated, I feel like you're more disciplined, you're more confident, um you're more grounded, and you are calmer, and you don't jump from decision to decision. You know what you're doing, and and I support that. And I encourage people, like, even though you got burned once, it's not going to always happen again.
Mm.
And people don't really understand that as much. So people my generation, 21 or 20, they follow what their parents say, like go to college, go here and there, and they end up somewhere they don't like or want to be in, or if they had a dream to become something and their mom or dad said, no, that don't make money, you need to do this and that. And so they become a professional college student, basically.
Professional
And
student.
yeah, they they just go one place to another place, and they end up with a bunch of debt, and they wonder, how did my peers who were into Bitcoin or all these other trading stuff be more successful than me, and they didn't even go to college? That make no sense. So there's lots of resentment. So
Yes, yes. Well, what excites you the most about this whole space? Whether it's crypto, Bitcoin, tokenized real estate, what is exciting for you about it?
I just like the fact that it's still new and you're not late. People keep saying, yeah, you're too late. You should have joined Bitcoin at 2012. Well, at 2012, I wasn't like walking around. I didn't have a computer in 2012. So it's still a growing field. You could do so much with it and so much more I didn't even know was possible. Like, for example, tokenization. You could do trading. There's a bunch of ways you could trade: swing trading, day trading, long term, scalping, all these other types of trading. And you don't have to wait for a bank to tell you, oh, your money just got logged, you can't use it, or oh, you're gonna only get 5% of your APY every few years, and you only made 6% of that. No, it's like it grows even when you sleep. So I just love that a lot. And it's also beginner friendly, even though it don't look like it. It really is kind of. Like, for example, with PayPal, it is so extremely easy. And you could get your money then and back in 15 minutes or less.
Mm. Well, let me ask you this. Why do you think education in this space is so important, especially for someone who felt college is not for me, but you still value education? Why do you feel that's important?
Because I could see that this world is leaning towards the digital space, like with currency and what you said at the summit in Washington, like physical money is not even real money. It appreciates and depreciates all the time. And right now it's depreciating. But I could see that Bitcoin is becoming a major thing in this world. There's like ATMs. People can now go to grocery stores and use their Bitcoin uh, money, and people could trade. They could purchase property tokens that represents the properties, and there is an actual vision to it. And I feel like if you don't even take a time out of your day to learn a little bit of at least a little bit of it, then you're gonna be far behind. Like, for example, back in the 1970s, people didn't think computers going to be a huge thing. Well, in 2026, everything's digital. And so if
Mhm.
you don't learn the computer, well, you're far behind. And I definitely don't want to be like that.
19 years old, y'all. I have a prediction. I have a good eye for character on this. You are a young, brilliant woman, and you are an old soul. I already predict the path you're on. In any direction you go, before you're 30, finances will not be an issue in your life. You will be able to focus on, and you're going to create great things in your passion. And you'll have the resources to do it because you're following the river of money, so that you've been thinking about investing since you were 12, and in real wealth building assets. And my grandfather was always saying, own real estate, own real estate. And you are doing that in this new frontier of digital real estate. So I have a prediction. You're going to do great things. You're going to impact a lot of lives, and you're going to create great projects. If you keep on the path you're getting in, not stay, just keep yourself out of trouble. You know, I know boys and stuff like that. You're 19, but I'm saying you stay focused. The world is your oyster. So I just want to say congratulations to you, having this mindset. I didn't start having the mindset you have right now until I was in my 30s, really understanding the way you are right now. So you're way ahead of the game and the curve. So congratulations. And then congratulations to your mom for raising you to get to this point and be an independent thinker and being able to have the insight to see. And you're going to be leading the way of your generation. You're at the top of that. So congratulations to Miss Betsy White, Miss B, and Miss Juco White. If you two can stick around at the end when we do Q&A, so that if anybody of our VIPs, if you have any questions for Miss B and Juco, you can do that right at the end. So thank you, ladies. And we will
Thank you. I
have you back
appreciate
right
it.
at the end. All right. Wow. Let's give it up. Let's give it up for Miss B and Juco. Okay, so let's jump into our lesson for tonight. Last night, I showed you the why, what's happening, and why we need to pay attention, because the average person has no idea what money even is, how it works outside of they got to work for somebody else to get it. Now I'm going to show you the technology that is making this all possible. You're going to see in the news that they're always talking about on-chain this, on-chain that. That is the commercialized marketing for this movement. And you are either going to be Blockbuster Video or Netflix. Those who are Netflix not only adopt, but they integrate this technology into what they're already doing today, which I will be speaking more on Monday, on our Monday night recap, when I say, now, how do I make money in this space? I'll be talking about that. Or you're going to be Blockbuster Video and get run over. Are there any more Blockbuster Videos around today? I mean, it was the hottest thing back when I was a kid. It looked like it would never go away, but technology continued to advance. So let's talk about this technology, blockchain. When I first heard about it, I didn't know the difference between Bitcoin and blockchain. Just as Ms. B said, I thought Bitcoin was cryptocurrency. I had no idea that it's only a piece of it. There's thousands of coins out there that are cryptocurrency, but I thought it was one and the same. I didn't know the difference. In 2017, when I saw that there was no formal education that can teach me this stuff on a level that I can understand, outside of the way people talk like NASA language, if you go to the expos, I only went to two sources I knew, Google and YouTube. But May of 2017, and I always will remember this date, that month, it's like my head exploded. Aha moment. I saw the light that changed my life. And I learned two things. And I'm going to talk about one of them tonight. And that is that this isn't a financial revolution. This is a technological revolution. That the blockchain technology is going to disrupt I repeat, every single industry on the planet. And it doesn't matter if you understand it, if you like it, if you are endorsing it, if you're giving it permission. None of that matters. This is happening. Because even if you say, well, It can happen, but I'm not going to participate. Yeah, you're going to go to your job's participating. You're going to go to the bank is participating. You're going to go to the grocery store is participating. You're going to buy a new phone, and the technology is integrated in your new phone, whether you like it or not. It's already happening. At least right now, it is still early on. Drew Cole said that. Well, some of my people think we're too late because no, blockchain technology right now in the development is where the internet was around 1996, 97. Who remembers AOL dial-up internet? See, Jacole wasn't around in those days. Her generation, this is all they know. My 19-year-old son, this is all he knows. His brother, though, was born in 1998. No, he don't even remember life without the internet. But I do. The 90s was a fantastic decade. I always wish I could go back. But life was different. AOL dial-up, you couldn't call somebody's house if they were on the internet. You get that busy signal. If you was fancy, you might have had 2 phone lines in the house. My dad had his own office inside the house, and he had his own office line and fax line. So we figured out we'll hook up the internet to the office fax line so we could still use the home phone. Is that where the internet is today? The reason why Blockbuster failed because they lacked vision. I think I saw Michael B. Jordan said that on the movie Sinners. You lack vision. Blockbuster Video lacked vision. They couldn't comprehend that people are going to be able to stream movies straight into their home from their TV. They thought, oh, you got to get up out of your chair, come down to the store, walk the aisles, buy your Twizzlers and your popcorn and have movie night. It wasn't going to stay the same. So where this technology is going to be in 10 years from now is nothing the way you see it today. Okay, so is it too late? No, you're still early. So what is blockchain technology? Well, here's the scientific definition. What is a blockchain? A blockchain is a tamper-proof encrypted database secured by cryptography, which is the study of encryption, that acts as an accounting ledger, keeping track of digital assets. Instead of being maintained by a single server like traditional databases, blockchains are decentralized and maintained by a distributed network of computers around the world. This database tracks every Bitcoin in the network and each transaction since the very first Bitcoin. You could think of Bitcoin as an accounting system. Through the blockchain, it is a way of recording transactions and value digitally in an open and distributed self-clearing ledger. So out of this entire thing, the only thing you need to get out of this is this word, ledger. Now, how many of you do not know what a ledger is? Type me in the chat box, including you guys on YouTube. Do you not know what a ledger is? Let me say, can you use it in a sentence? Like a bank ledger. In common words, a receipt. When you go to the store and you buy something, they hand you a receipt. And what is the receipt? It is a record of the transaction that you just made. It is proof that the transaction took place. How many of you do online banking? Virtually everybody now. When you, at the end of the month, you get an email saying the statement for your July statement is now available. What that means is you can open it up and see every transaction you made on your account for the entire month. That is a ledger. It is just a documented recording of an activity. The blockchain is a digital ledger. Only the Bitcoin blockchain is recording every single Bitcoin transaction that is open for everybody to see. Beginners to cryptocurrency sometimes hear the word blockchain and think that the term blockchain is synonymous with Bitcoin, like I did. However, this would be like saying that smartphone technology and Apple have the same meaning. The relationship between Bitcoin and blockchain is like the relationship between Facebook and the internet. Bitcoin is based on blockchain technology and could not exist without blockchain technology. Do you think the idea of having virtual money just started in 2009? No, the idea began the moment computers came on back in the 50s, 40s and the 50s. There just was no technology that allowed it to be tracked until blockchain technology. See, Bitcoin is based on blockchain technology and could not exist without the blockchain. However, blockchain technology preceded Bitcoin, and blockchain technology could exist without Bitcoin. That's why today they call it on-chain. Just like Facebook is on the internet, Bitcoin is on the blockchain. Facebook cannot work without the internet. So if you take the internet away, can you log into Facebook and check your account and read and post and things like that? No, you need the internet. Bitcoin couldn't work without its blockchain. I explained this to my father this way. My dad growing up, they didn't have a lot of money. My grandpa used to make toys. He was an engineer. He made video games and computers and things like that. So he made my dad a railroad track. And my dad loves trains. He's loved trains ever since. And even to now, he always gets like the 20-foot Christmas tree. And my kids, his grandchildren, he'd always have a train set around the tree and the train going. My kids, when they were little, they loved it. They loved helping him put it together. So I said, Dad, blockchain is a railroad track. I said, you got that? He said, yeah. I said, Bitcoin is the train. He said, okay. I said, you take that railroad track, can that train go anywhere? He said, no. I said, there you go. That's the blockchain. Blockchain is a fundamental baseline technology. Let's get another visual image in your minds. Picture that there is a digital block that's created on the internet. Inside that block is data. For cryptocurrencies, text data of a list of transactions is inside of each block. For NFTs, text data detailing ownership of digital assets. I tell people, if you want to understand tokenization, you first need to understand NFTs. And ILCA has a course on that, by the way. But it's digital ownership of assets inside of each block. Every time a new block is created, it is linked or chained back to the previous block. So you have a series of blocks full of data all chained together to each other. So think of it like this. On my computers, I never store anything on my hard drive on my computer. I always have external hard drives like these. And when one fills up, I unplug it and I plug in another one. When that fills up, I unplug it, I plug in another one. Same with the blockchain. It is limited to how much information it can be stored on it. So once it fills up, then it closes and it locks, and a new block opens up to start filling up data. Now, we'll learn about this tomorrow, that Bitcoin is not made up out of thin air. It is a reward for miners that is building every block. Because once that block closes, it kicks out a reward of Bitcoin. And we'll talk about that tomorrow, that Bitcoin is more real money than the cash in your hand, because that cash can be created when the government just decides to print more. No added value, they just print more. That doesn't work with Bitcoin. Something has to happen for Bitcoin to be created. Another way to visualize it is like this. Picture each block as a page in a book. The data inside each block are the words on the page, and the chain is the book's spine that holds all the pages together. There are various different cryptocurrencies, each with its own blockchain. So there isn't just one blockchain, okay? Every coin has its own blockchain, and you're going to need to learn in education that there's a difference between a centralized blockchain, which is what the banks are going to come out with and the government is going to come out with, and then decentralized blockchains like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and others. There's a difference between the two. And if you're not educated in this, you're gonna find yourself liable and in trouble because you think you're dealing with the Bitcoin blockchain and you're not. You're dealing with JP Morgan's blockchain. There's a difference. So how are new blocks added to the chain? Well, in order to add a new block to a chain, a complex math equation must be solved. For Bitcoin's blockchain, basically somebody needs to guess a number between 1 and 4 billion in order to add a block to the chain. This requires a vast amount of computing power as well as some time, roughly 10 minutes per block on Bitcoin's blockchain. So Ms. B's son, when he's talking about mining, this is what he's talking about. You've got people out there that spend their time, money, and energy buying computer equipment, programming it, paying for electricity costs, and that computer program is running in the background, solving this mathematical equation, and there are a million miners around the world doing the same thing. Why are they doing it? What incentivizes them to put in that time and effort? Because if they're the ones that are able to close that last block, the reward is Bitcoin. The individual or group who guesses the correct number creates the new block and is awarded 3.125 Bitcoins. This process is called mining, but really it should be called something like creating a new block by guessing the correct number. Bitcoin is what we call proof of work. Is the cash in your hand proof of work? When the government printed the money, did they find a new gold mine somewhere? But does that even matter? Because the dollar in your hand is not backed by gold. What is it backed by? Somebody type in the chat box. What is the money that you're working all day hard for? What is it backed by when you get that $100 bill, that 20, that 10? Type it in the chat box. I want to see what you guys say. And you guys on YouTube, type it in the chat box. We have people saying trust. Marnita says it's backed by air. Trust. Anybody else? Shante says it's backed by debt. Trust. I'll give you another hint. When the financial crisis happened in 2008, George Bush did a famous speech where he was calming down the people and preventing a run on the bank. And he said one thing: trust us. Trust us. Because if you don't have trust, the entire system collapses. So what is it? It's backed by trust. If we don't trust the system, the entire thing collapses. And in 1971, up till then, it was actually backed by something. And we'll be talking more about that tomorrow. Bitcoin, on the other hand, is not backed by trust. It's backed by work. It takes work for a Bitcoin to be created. The fact that it is so difficult to add a new block makes it so that no one organization can ever add too many blocks in a row. It would be like the same person winning the lottery over and over again. Hey, VIP members in Inner Circle, we just saw that the other day. Some lottery winner won the lotto twice. Remember the same type of lotto? So that's the same thing like here. Now you might say, well, if it's difficult, how are the other miners making money if they're not winning the Bitcoin? Because they're getting a percentage of the transaction fees of every transaction on Bitcoin. You know how you guys are paying gas fees? Who do you think that's going to? The miners. So now we know what a blockchain is, how blocks are created, and what each block is, filled with a digital ledger of transactions. To understand the significance of blockchain technology, we must go back in time and look at ledgers and their function. A ledger is simply a documented record of transactions. A blockchain is a ledger. A blockchain is a documented record of transactions. Again, that receipt in your hand. Since the dawn of civilization, people have been trading things with one another. Humanity wouldn't exist if it weren't for the fact that humans trade with one another. Even before the invention of currency, tribes and early civilizations would often keep a record of who traded what with who. Dating as far back as 5000 BC in Mesopotamia, people used clay tablets as primitive ledgers to record transactions of crops and animals. You know, the cave wall drawings, you know, the tablets, the Sumerian tablets. How do we know all this? Because they recorded it, but they recorded it on something that could stand the test of time, something that could not be changed. You cannot erase the tablet. You cannot, you know, write on top of the tablet. Once it's there forever. The funny thing is that this whole blockchain technology is now taking us back in time the way things used to be, because once something is on the blockchain, it cannot be changed. We just had this experience in e-estate. I won't say any names, but one of our members accidentally purchased the wrong piece of property. She got it confused with the name, and she asked, can she cancel that and have it credited with the right property? What do you guys think? Type in the chat box. Is it possible to cancel that and then redo it and have new property? What do you guys think in the chat box? Call says no, 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 no. You guys have gotten it. Nope. It's not. Why? Because that transaction, the contract, was with the smart contract on the blockchain. You can't go and delete it. So that was user error. You guys get it? See how that works? So no, that can't happen. Once it's done, it's like in wet cement. Ledgers such as these would be used to keep track of debts owed, so it was important that they were kept in a safe place to avoid tampering or damage. Ledgers were kept safe inside of guarded temples and palaces, the seeds of the first banks. Who loves, outside of myself, the Game of Thrones world? Game of Thrones, House of Dragons. And if you remember, there was a learning lesson of Cersei and her dad, Tywin Lannister. And she's thinking because they're in power, that they hold all the power. Who holds the real power in that world? King's Landing and whatnot. Who holds the real power? Is it the throne? No. The Iron Bank does. They hold the power. They hold the records. The most that they have, as far as the king and queen, is they have a minister of coin. But without the Iron Bank, they can't pay their armies. They can't buy food. They can't get loans. And the Iron Bank is the real power. So back in the day, and most people couldn't read and write back in the early days. So who were the richest people in the land? Those of you who read the Bible. Who were the disciples? Tax collectors. Tax collectors were wealthy. If you were a port master and somebody came into port to sell their goods and services, they have to check with you, and you write down what are they bringing in. And then when it's time for them to leave, you look to see, okay, what do you have left? How much did you sell? Because you have to pay the taxes on it. Now, that's where another term called bribery entered the way. Because what if that port master doesn't like you? What if the night before you was at the local pub and whatever, and you was messing with the port master's daughter or wife or family member, and they decide to not put the right accurate information? Who are you going to run to? You know, there's a police. It was not like that back then. So you would bribe the port master. So that's where the seeds of the first bank, the royal court. Later, banks took over the role of calculating and maintaining ledgers. They kept track of transactions as well as debts owed and kept these records and ledgers safe, except at this point, people were using currency and no longer bartering with crops, animals, and other goods. In the modern banking, for centuries, people have trusted banks to keep and maintain ledgers, which is records. People agree with the information in a bank's ledgers and trust that that information is safe from tampering or damage. There's that word again, trust. Because everyone agrees with the information in a bank's records, banks are often used as an intermediary for transactions between two parties. When you swipe your debit card at the grocery store and the point of sale terminal states that that transaction has gone through, the grocery store trusts that you've paid. The grocery store trusts your bank's records. Both parties involved in a transaction trust that the records of the bank are accurate. If the bank says the transfer has successfully been completed, then the buyer and the seller can both trust and agree that the money has in fact gone through. What are the pros and cons of using banks and their ledgers? Well, banks do add a level of trust and security to transactions. This is why banks have been around from hundreds of years. The downside to this is that banks and their governments have the power to monitor and control people's money, as well as put their hands in people's pockets with fees. Think about this. Every time you want to operate with a bank, they charge you with the privilege of holding your money. They then charge you when you want to move your money. They charge you just letting it sit in the bank month after month. They charge you if you have an overdraft fee. They charge you while they take your money and go and invest it and make more money for themselves. Has this been my only experience with the banks, or do you guys know what I'm talking about? So the issue is, for centuries, we have been trusting banks to keep records, which is ledgers, of who owns and owes what. But at the same time, we've been sacrificing some of our privacy, independence, and percentages of our wealth in fees. Do you think it's a coincidence that Donald Trump's family just got permission to create their own bank? Why? Because he's going to get a percentage of all the fees. But what if there was a better way? What if there was some form of modern technology that could help us get the best of both worlds? What if we could have security and trust while at the same time also have financial privacy and autonomy? We would need a secure ledger. Remember, we already know what a ledger is because your bank is a ledger. We would need a secure ledger that everyone could trust and agree on, and that wasn't able to be controlled, interfered with, or manipulated by any person or institution. How do you do that? Enter blockchain technology. Blockchains are distributed and publicly accessible. Was the Iron Bank publicly accessible? Is your bank publicly accessible on their ledger? No. That's why they're able to steal a lot. And how many times in crypto talk are we always hearing about some new fraud case dealing with the bank? A blockchain is a digital ledger, but it is a ledger that everybody has access to, yet nobody can tamper with or control it. Historically, ledgers and records have been kept centralized, locked up, and stored by one institution that has access and control. Now, those of you in e-estate have heard me do trainings like we did one the other week on wallets, and I said you got to know the difference between centralized wallets and decentralized wallets. This is why I'm teaching you this with the blockchain, because it is something that nobody can control. For cryptocurrencies, the entire ledger is out in the open and accessible to everybody. But how are blockchains different from banks? Well, one, blockchains are anonymous. When you look at the Bitcoin blockchain, you will notice that you don't see the names and email addresses or any information about the sender and receiver. All you see are transaction hashes and wallet addresses. It is almost impossible to determine someone's identity based on these strings of random letters and numbers. This is the paradox of Bitcoin. everybody can see all of the transactions, but nobody can see who is doing the transactions. Blockchains are decentralized. For almost every cryptocurrency, nobody owns or controls the ledger, which is the blockchain. And this is why the governments and the banks never liked Bitcoin in the first place, because they couldn't control it. The blockchain is available for anyone in the world to see, no matter where they are. Having a decentralized ledger plus the inherent security of a blockchain eliminates the need for an institution, bank, or government to be the middleman, and that is big business. And do you think they're going to go out quietly? You think they're not going to go out without a fight? Having a transparent distributed ledger, blockchain, means that cryptocurrency is open to everybody on the planet. And this is what Larry Fink from BlackRock was talking about. An entire 31% of adults in the world do not have access to a bank account. But if they have access to an internet connection, then they can access cryptocurrencies. Blockchain blocks require a majority agreement to be valid. And majority agreement of who? The miners. And there's millions of them around the world. What makes a blockchain so secure is the fact that it is distributed. There are multiple live versions of each blockchain. If somebody is able to tamper with even one block on his live version of the blockchain, then everyone else will instantly see that it doesn't match up with the other live versions and it will be discarded. As long as more than 50% of all the live blockchain versions or nodes agree on something, the versions that are different are identified as false and ignored, and this all happens very, very, very quickly. Blockchain blocks are essentially immutable. So when you hear about hackers out there, they're not hacking the blockchain, okay? They're hacking centralized exchanges and people's computers and centralized wallets. The blockchain cannot be hacked. Every 10 minutes, a new block is created on the Bitcoin blockchain. This block is filled with data of recent Bitcoin transactions. The data in the block shows a list of wallet addresses that have sent Bitcoin to other wallet addresses, as well as the amount of Bitcoin sent. Now, each blockchain does something different. The Ethereum blockchain does the same thing as the Bitcoin blockchain, except it records more information. It also can record ownership. It also can record contracts. That's why a lot of layer 2 coins are built on the Ethereum network. NFTs mainly from the Ethereum network. Once the block has been mined and the data is written inside, the block is closed and becomes added to the end of the blockchain. At that point, it is almost impossible to edit, modify, or remove. Wait, Brandon, didn't you just say it's impossible? Hold on. Let me get to that. It's like riding in wet cement. And once the cement hardens, the information written will be there forever. The block is basically immutable. But is it possible to hack the blockchain? Well, there's always a technicality. If one individual or organization were able to gain control of 51% of the computing power of a blockchain, then they would be able to double spend their coins. That means they could spend their coins, then delete that transaction and spend the coins again. Let me break this down for you young people, especially if you are in college and you are broke like me. You know what me and my friends did late on a Thursday or Friday night, and we were hungry and the cafeteria was closed and we were broke and we couldn't get any girls to bring us any food? We had that vending machine. And we figured out how to put tape and a rope at the end of $1, stick it in there, order what we want, and then pull that dollar back out. Get what we bought and then do it again. Yes, it was wrong. I'm just using it as an example. That's what double spend means. So we use the same dollar to double spend and buy items. To mount a successful 51% attack on a large crypto such as Bitcoin would require an astronomical amount of computing power, costing billions or tens of billions of dollars. There are estimated to be over 1 million Bitcoin miners in the world today. It's much higher than that because I put this together. Well, I redid this 7 years ago. Somebody would need to generate the computing power of over 1 million other miners to be able to temporarily tamper with the creation of one block. Now, I said that each block generates 3.125 Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin right now is $64,000 a coin, what's 64,000 times 3? So you would have to spend billions of dollars just to get less than $300,000 worth of Bitcoin. Is it worth it? See, that's why I said it's almost impossible. There is only one person on this planet, in my opinion, that is crazy enough and has the resources to try to pull it off just to say he did it. Anybody know what that name is? Type it in the chat box. Because he did do this when it came to spending more money than it was worth buying Twitter. Need to call it X. Elon Musk. He's like freaking Tony Stark. And he's crazy enough just to say he did it. You know, before he died, who said he would do something like that was Mike McAfee. You know, you guys ever heard of the McAfee computer security for your computer? McAfee was a huge Bitcoin enthusiast. And even he said, I don't have the resources to try to pull something like that off. But if I did, I would, just to say that I did it. But he was also high on coke most of the time, too. Other use cases of blockchain technology. Because blockchain technology is by nature secure, anonymous, immutable, and decentralized, is being eyed for other applications beyond only cryptocurrency. This is why I said it's going to disrupt every single industry. What about using the blockchain to cast votes? What is one of the most polarizing issues thanks to this president in America today, who's convinced half the country that something's wrong with our election system? That it can't be trusted, that he's already maneuvering to, if he loses or his party loses in November, he's already declaring that it was a scam. It was illegal. I'm not here to debate right or wrong on this. What I am here to say is, if you want to not have any suspicion, put voting on the blockchain. Put it on the blockchain. It'll be impossible for it to be cheated by any party or any side. But let me tell you something. As blockchain technology will disrupt every industry, voting, it will be the last to be put on the blockchain because both parties like it the way it is because they can manipulate some things. So it will happen eventually, but that will make it fair. What about using a blockchain to keep track of medical data? That is huge, much bigger than I can speak on tonight. What about using a blockchain to keep track of the supply chain of food or other products like medical data? That is also huge, which I've already written courses on this stuff. I'm just giving you the top headlines here. What about using a blockchain to store authentic pieces of digital art? I need to upgrade this because now it's about tokenization. Without blockchain, there's no tokenization. And tokenization is bigger than Bitcoin. We are talking about $867 trillion of real world assets that's going to be tokenized. And it's riding on the back of NFTs. So if you really want to understand tokenization, learn about NFTs first. What about using a blockchain to store personal identification information? This technology is going to create Web 3.0. Right now, you're using Web 2.0. Do you remember the first version of the internet, Web 1.0? All that was being able to read data digitally. It was static. Remember, you try to load up a page and all it took forever for one page to load, and all you can do is read the data. You couldn't interact with it. Web 2.0 now makes it that we can interact with the data. We can share files and information. And that's why it's called the information superhighway. but you couldn't transfer ownership through it until now. This technology is now going to allow you to own your own presence digitally. See, if you're operating on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, the moment you upload that stuff is no longer yours. It is theirs. And every time you go to a new social media, you got to create a new account. What if you only have to create an account once and it follows you no matter what platform you're moving through in the internet? I used to watch Dave Chappelle, and he had a skit talking about what if you went to the internet real as a live person and the internet was like the mall and you could walk through it and stuff. That's what's going to be like. You own your pictures. You own your data. In fact, these places will pay you for you to use their platforms and move on their platforms. Personal identification information. This is the big one because you guys are in e-estate. Using a blockchain to store important deeds, such as for land or a home. You guys in ILCA, you've seen me do this lesson way before we ever heard about e-estate, way before I did a lesson on tokenization. And now you're seeing how it's integrating and disrupting even the real estate industry. You guys see this, how fast this is moving? So now there's no more arguments. There's no more who actually owns the land. You know, I always used to say, I come from a big family. If Shreveport, Louisiana contacted us and said, hey, yeah, we found out that we got some land and property over here that was in your family, your great-great-grandmother had this stuff. Yeah, we got to give it back to you. Well, that's 4 generations, 5 generations removed. There's hundreds of us now. Which one of us actually has the right to it? I say, does Marnita get the right to it over me? I say, no, I'm the older cousin. I get it. I'm first. But she and all her other cousins have equal right to it as well. But the blockchain covers that. How many times have we seen when wealthy people pass away and then there's family drama? You think, well, there's a will, this and that. Nothing will be as solidified as the blockchain. As a disclaimer, this information is intended for educational and training purposes only and should not be construed as investment advice. As with all financial decisions, you should contact your licensed financial advisor before investing in any financial instrument. And that, ladies and gentlemen, brings us to the end of our lesson tonight, and we're going to be moving into the Q&A section. So I hope you learned, and because we have young Jucole on, I'm going to keep the YouTube open one more night so that they can see the Q&A. But after that, the rest of the week, I got to close it. The Q&A is only for the VIP members. So we invite you guys to be a VIP member. I'm going to give it to you for one more night because I want you guys to hear from this brilliant young woman right here. But tomorrow and the rest of the week, it's closed. You got to be a VIP member. So with that, if you have any comments, questions, or aha moments for either myself, Miss B, or Miss Jucole, raise your hand and I'm going to call on you and you can ask your questions. So first up, Miss Patty Geis, go right ahead.
Thank you, Brandon. Great lesson tonight as usual. Jucole and Betsy, I have been looking forward to you two coming on ever since Brandon came back from Washington talking about you. He was so impressed by your level of wisdom and knowledge. And I can absolutely see why. I mean, talk about, wow, man, I wish I had the amount of wisdom that you do right now, even when I was 25 years old. I mean, you are definitely a lane changer. So my question to you is 2 things. So, gosh, what was it about real estate and being an entrepreneur and cryptocurrency and tokenized real estate? What was it that pulled you into looking at those infomercials when you were little versus, like Brandon said, playing video games, which I was doing too? What was it that drew you into it? And it's I'm sure a lot of it has to do with your mom because she was pretty impeccable. But I'm going to ask you that question first of what was it that attracted you to that?
Well, I always see my mom. She was always like working long, long hours at like call centers, and I barely get to see her. And I remember when I was like, I think around 10 years old, when she was first getting into like real estate, not like really into it, but she was at this seminar. She was like at a place, like as a hotel, she was there. And I didn't really understand what real estate was, nor really care at the time because I was 10. And of course, I was playing games, but I was listening to it a little bit. And it's like, what I really liked about it is it's something that you can own and you can make money from. And I see that the people who were up there were talking, they were able to spend time with their family and not have to worry about the next bill or how they're going to scrape up enough money to pay for whatever they need to pay, like groceries or new clothes for their kids. And
Mhm.
I want to, because I'm the youngest of my siblings, I'm like the last one. And I want to be the change for my parents because my mom always keeps saying, "You're my last hope." I was like, okay, mom. So I wanted to get into something that I can own, either physically or digitally, whatever it is. I want to get into something that I can own and make money from and make my mom proud, obviously. But I just want her to know that it's okay. You do have someone you can lean on, one of your kids you can lean on, and I will be able to take care of you, and you and my dad. And that's what really got me into it and really what made me to take it seriously. And now I have a support group that is also in my lane who's more older and also more experienced to it. I could see clearly that, yeah, I could actually do it at this age. And I am very blessed to have that, honestly, because
Mhm.
a lot of people my age, they don't have that. They don't even have one person they could talk to or lean on when it comes to their ideas.
That's
Thank you,
awesome.
Nicole. You had another question as well, Patty?
I just, being so young, Jaco, the world is your oyster. And I agree with you on college as well. It's like, I can only do so much of it. So I was like, I'm out of here. So, I mean, with the wisdom that you have right now and what you've learned at this point, where do you see yourself taking that? Because you are definitely a voice is that needs to be heard.
Well, I obviously want to do real estate for as long as I can, and
Great.
I want to be able to retire by the time I am 30. That's my goal. I always want to retire young so I can enjoy my life and not
Mm-hmm.
retire at 60 or even 70 and work at Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
that's where I see. I do really believe heartily that digital space is something that's going to last for a lifetime and it can't be tampered or taken away from you. Like, for example, I'm always big into Black history, and I see how our people been trying to build wealth for their generations, but every time it keep getting taken away. And now I see like, oh, this could stay. No matter what
Right.
burns down, what tampers, this can't be taken away. And I always try to encourage our people to like come in and see what's here and actually have an open mind and don't be arrogant. But yeah.
All right, thank you for that, Drew Cole. Before I bring up Mr. Thurman, Coach Shantae and Mike have something to share. There we go. So, Coach Shantae,
Hello, hello, beautiful people. Am I coming through okay, Mr. Ivy?
yes, you are.
Well, first of all, I just want to give honor to God. I know this is not a religious program or anything, but I want to give honor to God for saving my life to be able to be here in this moment of time to see my niece shine. Every day that I talk to her, every day me and her mom have Bible study. Every time she rings my phone and just to say, "Oh, I didn't want anything, Auntie. I just wanted to see how you were doing. I just want to say I love you. I just want to say I thank you." It's just a life of my life. So that I won't cry, I had to write down what I wanted to say so I can get it. So, baby girl, watching you tonight made your Auntie Shantae and your Uncle Mike say hi, Miss.
Hey, I was walking the dog and missed you speaking, but from what I'm hearing, I I can't wait to watch the recording so I can listen and find out what you taught on because I missed it.
He didn't miss all of it. He was here. He was doing some other stuff as well. But at the end of the day, let me finish because I'm getting a little misty right now. So again, baby girl, watching you tonight made your Auntie Shantae and Uncle Mike's heart swell with pride. Everybody listen, she's only 19 years old. Think about where you were at 19. What was your mindset at 19? What were you doing at 19? Think about it. But love at 19 years old, young, really, but I'm going to say old, right? You carried yourself with such bossed up maturity, intelligence, confidence, and professionalism. You didn't just talk, you brought value. You brought your experience, even with only 19 years, you brought your love and your compassion for people. I never underestimate love, what God has placed inside of you. You are anointed and you are very, very, very special. Tonight wasn't just your first talk at Ivy Crypto Academy. I promise you. It was a glimpse of the young woman, the leader, and the professional you are becoming. Keep learning, keep growing, keep walking into rooms knowing you belong there. Because I'm going to tell you now, our God is in rooms right now mentioning your name. And if he before you, nothing and no one can be against you. Me and my Uncle Mike are so incredibly proud of you. Not simply because of what you've accomplished tonight, my love, but because of who you are becoming inside, where it really matters. This is only the beginning, baby girl. Keep going. Your Auntie Shantae and your Uncle Mike will always, I'm not going to cry. Stop. Will always be in your corner, your biggest cheerleaders, cheering you loud. When you hear somebody in the corner, no matter where you at, no matter what stage you on, go boss it up, you're going to know that's your auntie. We love you beyond words. Keep shining, baby. God has you. I love you, Betsy. You're doing a phenomenal job. You did everything you were supposed to do with this young lady. Be proud that God blessed you with her. I love you both. Bye-bye. Boss up.
All right. Thank you, Coach Shante. We got I love the young people we got on here. We also have the young King Zion Myers in his early 20s that I will be having him up soon as well that you guys can hear from. All right, I want to bring up Mr. Roosevelt Thurman Sr. Go right ahead, sir.
Yes, sir. Mr. Ivy, first of all, I would like to thank you for bringing in this young lady. But I must give a man a shout out to Miss Betsy because you really remove the stone that would have prohibited this young lady from actually getting to the point from the start line where she needed to get to, even though she somewhat had to defy you, but sometimes defiance brings brilliance because of the simple fact it cannot be contained when that fire inside is pushing to come out. And I want to thank you for allowing her to do that. I, on the other hand, my son was one who always told me, Dad, I don't want college. And I'm like, man, what you mean you don't want college? You got to get college, man. You got to get college. So I was one of those old minds. And I really didn't hear him. But the thing that he did, he said, Dad, he said, I will never step foot on no campus. He said, you want me to go to college? I'm going to do it from my house. This dude did 4 years of college from his living room.
Mhm.
Graduated from his living room, got a bachelor's degree in business administration from his living room because he said, I told you I didn't need this. Well, he works at Vanderbilt Hospital. He's a respiratory specialist. And he basically got his certification at the hospital because he didn't want to go to school to get it. And they had the program where he could actually come in and on the job training. And hey, guess what? He's one of the top respiratory specialists there at the hospital. But here's the thing. Here's the thing, though, that really blows my mind with Mr. Cole is the fact that the grain that you are, young lady, the grain that you are is one that says, I am undaunted in any atmosphere, in any endeavor that I'm going for. Even if I have to break the rules, I'm not going to be stopped. And mom, Miss Betsy, you are truly the catalyst which has catapulted this young lady to, like everyone that is speaking to her, the aunt, the uncle, yourself, Mr. Ivy, that is speaking to her. I don't have to echo what has already been said, but I will say this. We truly have not seen the atmosphere that you're about to grab and start breathing at a higher level because you're about to soar with eagles in this experience. And I promise you, even eagles are going to fall off because your altitude is going to be much too high in order for them to maintain breath. So, congratulations, Miss Betsy. Congratulations, Mr. Cole, and congratulations, Mr. Ivy, for bringing her to us. Thank you so much.
All right, all right. Thank you for sharing, Mr. Thurman. All right. Any last remarks, Miss B, or to Cole, that you want to share before we go ahead and close out?
I actually just want to say thank you so much for inviting us. I truly appreciate the fact that you gave us this opportunity to speak. And I grew up in that same era. You know, you go to school, you get great grades. You know, my grandparents wasn't good grades; they were get great grades. You
Great,
know,
great.
a B is okay, but an A is what I'm expecting. So I need you to get back to the books. And then once you do that, I want you to graduate and I want you to be among the top 10. I want you one, but top 10 I'll accept. And then you're going to go out and then you're going to, get your job and you're going to make sure you get your 401k. And they did talk about investing, but they couldn't teach me about investing. They said, put your money into something. That was what I was told. Put your money into something. And then when you retire at 65 at that point, I think it was 63, you could retire and then you'll have some money in your 401k. And that was the way life was supposed to go. So when my oldest two kids, when they were in school, that was what I taught them. And it didn't work out. You know, I went to college and I'm not doing anything that I went to college for. But I do had a college bills. I had them bills, but that was what we were taught. And so when it came to my baby girl, and I have 12 years between her and my her sister. It's 12 years between them. And so it was a completely new generation, and I was so lost. But at that point, for the first 3 years of her being in school, it was, you're gonna go to college, you're gonna go to college. This is what you got to do. This is what you got to do. And I kept at it. I kept at it until one day it was, you're raising her to be an independent person. You're raising her to be strong. So if I'm raising her to be strong, then I got to be the person is going to listen to who she is, because she's a person, she's a personality. So I got to listen to her. So I just sat down and I listened to her, and I'm like, my baby girl makes sense. I said, okay, because I had to think about it. My oldest son, he didn't do anything with college. My oldest daughter, she didn't do anything with college, and I didn't do anything with college. So let me see what her direction is. And so it just really takes sometimes just listening, listen to them and then they'll listen to us and you had that conversation. And to be honest, she blows me away because the conversations that she has, the way that she talks, is so over my head sometimes. And so sometimes she just go, it's okay, mom, but just it's okay. So yeah, so I appreciate everybody for the comments and the appreciation that you have for her. And I appreciate estate because everybody that's, I mean, Anthony Deloche and Charlita Deloche and Shantae and Mike and especially you, Mr. Ivy, she's learning so much from you guys. And now she feels comfortable with even just reaching out to you and asking a question. You know, it's not, she doesn't go, Mom, you think I should. She feels comfortable enough to go to the people that she see that's doing what she wants to do, and she'll ask the question. Just like when she was in Washington, I was surprised at how she worked the room. She wasn't waiting on me. She didn't wait on her dad. She just got up and she worked the room. And I was like, well, okay, little girl, you go right on. I'll sit there at the table and ate on my little pasta salad while she worked the room and did what she had to do. And she was happy and she was proud of herself. So I just want to say thank you. I thank estate. I do. I thank estate. I thank ILCA. I appreciate it because it's really going to take my baby in a direction that I can't take her because I don't have the experience or the knowledge to take her where she wants to go or where she can shine. So I appreciate all of you all for being here and all of you all for being the ones that she can look up to.
Well, thank you, Miss B. It takes a village, always has, and we are her village. Miss White, Mr. Cold, is there anything you'd like to share before we dismiss?
Actually, yes. First, I do want to say thank you, everyone here, so much for supporting me because I've been praying so hard and long for a very long time to have at least one person that supports me or understands me. And I finally have a community and more people that I didn't even know about that actually really do support me. And having my Auntie Shantae and Uncle Mike here reaching out to my mom, I feel like God really did send her to my mom because my mom, she really didn't have anyone. And I'm just happy that now her and Shantae are best of friends, are like sisters. So I just want to say thank you so much. And um, I am looking so forward to bring great value to this community and estate. And I just hope I could work with you guys soon. And that's all.
All right. Well, thank you, Miss White, both Miss Whites, for being here tonight. That is the end of our night 2. We will be back. VIP members, we got Crypto Talk tomorrow morning. We will be back for day 3 tomorrow night. We have Steve Darnell that will be speaking tomorrow evening. Thursday night, we will be having Crypto Mom, Brenda Gentry, and her 2 daughters will be on Thursday night. And then on Friday, you're going to hear Miss Marnita Casa's story on what just happened to her and her family this past weekend and how E-Estate provided the resources necessary to be able to handle that devastating experience. So thank you guys. I'm about to hop off right now and go straight to Anthony Deloach's, I know he's still talking, presentation going on right now, his training. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for being